Why do so many people over 62 keep waking up at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, and wondering what's wrong with them? Is it just part of getting older, or is your body quietly trying to tell you something important about your health, your stress, and even your future? If you've noticed this strange pattern in your own life, you're not alone. Maybe you fall asleep just fine, only to wake up in the middle of the night, wide awake, your mind racing. You look at the clock, and there it is again, 3 a.m. Sometimes you eventually drift back to sleep. Other nights, you lie there for hours, frustrated and exhausted before the day even begins. If this is happening to you, it can be scary. You might worry that something is wrong with your heart, your brain, or your nerves. You might feel embarrassed to bring it up, or you've told yourself, "I'm just old, this is how it is now." But deep down, you know your body is sending you a message. You just don't know how to read it. You are not the only one. Many people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond quietly struggle with these early morning awakenings. Some blame their age. Others blame the noise outside, their spouse snoring, or too much water before bed. But here's what's interesting. Some older adults sleep more peacefully and wake up feeling more rested, while others feel like their nights are broken into pieces and their days are foggy and heavy. What makes the difference? In this video, we're going to talk about 5 powerful reasons why people over 62 keep waking up around 3 a.m. and what each of those reasons truly means for your health and your sleep. By the end of this video, you'll understand what your body might be trying to tell you, how to tell the difference between a harmless habit and a serious warning sign, and what simple steps you can start taking to protect your rest, your mood, and your long-term health. And stay with me until the very end, because the 5th reason we'll talk about is one that many people ignore for years. Once you see it clearly, you may never look at your nighttime awakenings the same way again. Now, let's get started. Number 1, your internal body clock is changing with age. As we grow older, our internal body clock, also known as the circadian rhythm, slowly shifts. When you were younger, your sleep cycles were deeper and longer. You might remember sleeping straight through the night and waking up to an alarm, annoyed that it cut your dreams short. But after 60, the structure of sleep changes. You spend less time in deep, restorative sleep and more time in lighter stages where it's easier to wake up. For many people over 62, this lighter sleep means that any small disturbance can bump you awake, especially in the early hours of the morning. A car passing outside, a small ache in your hip, a change in temperature in the room, or a strange dream can all wake you more easily than they used to. On top of that, the timing of your sleep can shift earlier. You might feel sleepy earlier in the evening and wake up earlier in the morning. If you go to bed at 9:30 p.m. and fall asleep quickly, your body might naturally start waking you between 3 o'clock and 4 a.m. because it's already had several hours of rest. It doesn't always mean something is wrong, it may simply mean your body clock is not the same as it was at 30 or 40. Think of Harold, who is 74. For years, he stayed up late watching television and then complained that he was always waking at 3 a.m. feeling restless. Once he started tracking his habits, he realized he was falling asleep in his chair around 8:30 p.m., drifting to bed by 9 o'clock, and then his body simply finished a full sleep cycle in the early hours. When he gently pushed his bedtime a little later and added a calming evening routine instead of dozing off in front of the TV, his 3 a.m. awakenings became less intense and less frequent. If you recognize yourself in this, it doesn't mean your sleep is broken. It may just mean your body clock is asking for a little cooperation. You can help yourself by creating a calm, consistent evening routine, limiting long naps late in the day, and making your bedroom as comfortable and dark as possible. Small changes like dimming the lights an hour before bed, turning off screens, and keeping your room cool can support the natural rhythms your body is trying to follow. Ask yourself, have I been fighting my body's new rhythm, or working with it? Number 2, your blood sugar and nighttime eating habits may be waking you. Another powerful reason many people over 62 wake up at 3 a.m. has to do with what and when they eat. As we age, our bodies often become more sensitive to changes in blood sugar. A big, heavy dinner late at night, a sugary dessert, or even just a little snack before bed can cause your blood sugar to rise and fall in ways that disturb your sleep. Here's what can happen. You enjoy a late meal or sweet treat, your blood sugar rises, and your body responds. Hours later, in the middle of the night, your blood sugar may dip. That dip can trigger hormones that act like an internal alarm clock. Your heart may beat a little faster, you may feel a bit warm or uneasy, and without fully understanding why, you wake up, often around 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Margaret, who is 69, used to enjoy a big bowl of ice cream while watching her favorite show before bed. She told herself she deserved it after a long day. But almost every night, she woke up at 3 a.m., restless and unable to fall back asleep. After a conversation with her doctor, she decided to change things. She moved her dessert to earlier in the evening, chose a lighter snack closer to bedtime, and focused more on balanced meals with protein and fiber. Over time, her nighttime awakenings became less intense, and she noticed she could fall back asleep more easily. Your body is constantly talking to you through feelings and patterns. Waking up at 3 a.m. doesn't always mean there's a major medical crisis. Sometimes, it can be your body's way of saying, something about the way you're eating isn't working for me anymore. For many older adults, digestion is slower, and big or sugary meals late at night are harder to handle. If this sounds familiar, consider gently experimenting, for example, finishing your main meal a little earlier, choosing lighter, healthier evening snacks, and paying attention to whether caffeine, alcohol, or heavy foods in the late afternoon or evening make your 3 a.m. wake-ups worse. Ask yourself, could my own eating habits be quietly interrupting my sleep without me realizing it? If you're still listening, comment the number 2 below so we know you're here. And if these conversations matter to you, consider subscribing. Your support helps us keep creating videos like this for older adults and their families. Now, let's move forward. Number 3, your body may be signaling pain, discomfort, or a health issue. Sometimes waking at 3 a.m. is your body's gentle alarm, asking you to pay attention. As we age, aches and pains become more common. Arthritis in the joints, stiffness in the back, neuropathy in the feet, or discomfort from lying in one position too long. These sensations may not always be sharp or dramatic, but they can be just strong enough to nudge you out of lighter sleep. There are other signals, too. Needing to use the bathroom more often at night, waking up short of breath, or feeling your heart racing can all be signs that something deeper is going on. Many older adults quietly put up with these things, assuming they're just part of getting older. But sometimes, they are your body's way of saying, please look into this. Consider Robert, who is 76. Every night, he woke between 2:30 and 3:30 a.m., uncomfortable and vaguely anxious. He thought it was just worry. But he also noticed he needed to prop himself up with pillows to breathe comfortably. When his daughter encouraged him to mention this to his doctor, he discovered that his heart and lungs needed attention. With proper medical care and some lifestyle changes, his sleep improved, and those scary awakenings became much less frequent. Then there's Lorraine, 71, who struggled with nagging hip pain. She told herself she could live with it. Yet, she noticed a pattern: deep sleep early in the night followed by a 3 a.m. wake-up where she had to shift positions again and again. Finally, she worked with her healthcare provider, added gentle stretching before bed, adjusted her mattress, and used a supportive pillow between her knees. The pain didn't vanish overnight, but her rest became more peaceful. Your sleep is connected to every part of your health. Nighttime is when your body does much of its repair work. If something in your body is struggling, it's not uncommon for that struggle to show up as broken sleep. That doesn't mean you should panic, but it does mean you should listen. Pay attention to what else you feel when you wake up at 3 a.m. Are you in pain? Are you short of breath? Do you need to use the bathroom several times a night? Do you feel pressure in your chest, or tingling in your hands and feet? These are important details to share with a trusted healthcare provider. Remember, there is strength in asking questions and getting checked. It's not weakness. It's wisdom. Ask yourself, is my body trying to tell me something through these awakenings, and am I willing to listen and seek help if I need it? Number 4, your daily routines and medications may be disrupting your sleep cycle. Another often overlooked reason for waking at 3 a.m. lies in the small details of your daily routine, your medications, your naps, your evening habits, and even the way you wind down at night. As we age, our bodies can become more sensitive to medicines we've taken for years. A pill that once felt harmless may now affect your sleep more than you realize. Some medications can make you drowsy during the day, leading to longer naps that steal sleep from your nighttime rest. Others can act like stimulants, quietly keeping your brain more alert when you're trying to sleep. And then there are medicines that increase trips to the bathroom, which can naturally wake you up in the middle of the night. Think of Gloria, at 78, who prided herself on being independent and strong. She took several medications, some in the morning, some in the evening. Over time, she noticed she was waking around 3 a.m. every night, staring at the ceiling. She also napped in her chair most afternoons. When she finally spoke with her doctor and pharmacist, they adjusted the timing of a few medications and encouraged her to shorten her naps. The change wasn't dramatic overnight, but gradually her sleep became more stable. Our modern routines can also quietly interfere with sleep. Bright screens late at night, scrolling through the news, or watching intense shows can leave your mind buzzing. You might physically be in bed, but your brain is still racing. For many older adults, the quiet of the night is the only time they feel truly caught up with messages or news, but that habit can come with a cost. If you find yourself waking at 3 a.m. and feeling wide awake, ask yourself what your evenings look like. Are you drinking tea or coffee later in the day? Are you watching stressful news right before bed? Are you napping for long periods in the afternoon? You don't have to overhaul your whole life. Small shifts can help. Moving stimulating shows earlier, reading something calming before bed, keeping naps shorter and earlier in the day, and talking with your doctor or pharmacist about whether any of your medications could be affecting your sleep schedule. Ask yourself, which part of my daily routine might be quietly tugging on my sleep, even if I've never noticed it before? Number 5. Unprocessed stress, worry, and loneliness are surfacing at 3 a.m. This last reason is one many people ignore for years, yet it may be one of the most powerful. Your mind and heart do not shut off just because the clock says bedtime. In fact, for many older adults, the quiet hours of the night are when buried worries and unspoken feelings finally rise to the surface. During the day, you may stay busy, running errands, caring for others, scrolling through your phone, or watching TV. You push away thoughts about health, money, family conflict, or the fear of becoming a burden. But at 3 a.m., when the house is dark and the world is quiet, those worries have room to speak. You may wake up with your heart pounding, thinking about an unpaid bill, a medical test result, a disagreement with a child, or a deep sense of loneliness. Sometimes, your body wakes you because your nervous system is still on high alert from stress you never fully processed during the day. Consider Anne, who is 72. After her husband passed away, she stayed busy with chores and appointments, telling everyone she was fine. But night after night, she woke at 3 a.m. in tears, feeling a heavy ache in her chest. She tried to distract herself with television and phone games, but the pattern continued. Finally, she admitted to herself, and to a close friend, that she was lonely and grieving. She started attending a support group and allowed herself to talk about her feelings. Slowly, her 3 a.m. awakening softened. She still woke up sometimes, but she no longer felt so overwhelmed and alone. Then there's Sam, 68, who worried constantly about money. He would wake up at 3 a.m. replaying every mistake he thought he'd ever made. He felt ashamed and powerless. When he finally spoke with a financial counselor and made a simple plan, he didn't become rich overnight, but he did feel more in control. The nighttime panic began to ease. Your emotions are not separate from your sleep. The brain uses the night to sort, process, and file away the day's experiences. If you're carrying heavy burdens, grief, regret, fear, or loneliness, those feelings can show up as restless, broken sleep. Instead of seeing your 3 a.m. wake-ups only as a problem, you might also see them as a message. There is something in your heart that needs gentle attention. You are not weak for feeling this way. In fact, it takes courage to recognize that your sleepless nights might be connected to unspoken pain. What can you do? You might start by writing down your worries earlier in the evening, giving them a place to go on paper rather than letting them swirl in your mind at night. You could talk with a trusted friend, family member, or counselor about what's weighing on you. Some people find comfort in quiet prayer, deep breathing, or simply placing a hand over their heart and reminding themselves, I am still here. I am not alone. I will take this one step at a time. Ask yourself, is my 3 a.m. awakening really about sleep, or is it my heart asking for care, comfort, and support? These 5 reasons, shifts in your body clock, blood sugar and eating habits, physical health signals, daily routines and medications, and unprocessed stress or loneliness, do not explain every single case of waking at 3 a.m., but they do cover many of the patterns older adults experience. As you listen, remember this, your body and your life are not working against you. Often, your 3 a.m. wake-ups are not a punishment, they are a message. And with awareness, support, and a few gentle changes, you can begin to understand what that message is really trying to say. We've talked about 5 powerful reasons why so many people over 62 keep waking up around 3 a.m. and what those wake-ups might really mean for your health and your sleep. For some, it's a simple shift in the internal body clock. For others, It's changes in blood sugar, pain or health issues, daily routines and medications, or deeper stress and loneliness quietly rising to the surface in the dark. If you saw yourself in any of these reasons, you are not broken, and you are certainly not alone. Waking up at 3 a.m. again and again can feel frightening, frustrating, and exhausting. It can make the nights feel long and the days feel heavy. But very often, those wake-ups are not your enemy, they are a signal. They are your body and your heart trying to tell you, something needs a little attention here. The most important thing to remember is this: your future is not set in stone. Even after 62, 72, or 82, your body and mind can respond to small, wise changes. Adjusting your bedtime, eating a little differently in the evening, talking with your doctor about pain or medications, or opening up about your worries to someone you trust, none of these are huge, dramatic moves. But over time, they can gently reshape your nights and your days. It's easy to believe that poor sleep is just part of aging, something you have to accept. But the truth is more hopeful. While aging does change sleep, there are often many things you can influence. You can work with your body instead of fighting it. You can listen to its messages instead of ignoring them. And you can reach out for support instead of lying awake alone with your fears. So ask yourself, which one of these reasons stands out to me the most right now? Is it my changing body clock? My eating habits? My pain? My routine? Or the stress and loneliness I rarely talk about? Then ask a second question: what is one small step I can take this week to move in a better direction? It might be as simple as writing down questions for your next doctor's visit, choosing a lighter evening snack, shortening an afternoon nap, or calling someone you trust just to talk. Small steps count. Small steps add up. Thank you for joining us today. We would truly love to hear from you. In the comments below, share one thing you learned from this video and how you plan to use it in your life or with someone you care about. Your stories and insights don't just encourage us, they also help other viewers who may be lying awake at 3 a.m. feeling exactly the way you do. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend or family member who might be struggling with their sleep. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire older adults and their families. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.